This is Pod Jak'd, episode 7. I am out right now. It's a little breezy out. I'm drinking a fucking tall Bud Light. Not my favorite beer, but drinking a tall boy. There's this store I really like. And if you get there before 10 o'clock, you can use your credit card. And even though the weather's going to change and I won't be able to stay outside much soon, it's still kind of nice. I'm bundled up tonight. But this topic is going to be about, I actually forgot what it was. What is it? Oh yeah. The topic is I'm not sure what's gonna happen in this episode. I'm not drunk yet. I know I sound drunk. I'm getting there. I've only had a few sips of this beer, but pretty much it's gonna be about awkward approaches. I've made a lot of awkward approaches in my day, and then from there, I'm not sure where I'm gonna go. Either I'm gonna wrap it up early, or I'm gonna wait till I add more stuff. So it's possible this might not come out quick. Because I might just start doing that. I might just start adding segments randomly and put them together, because it's not easy to just do. Even though I have a lot of insight on things, I don't really have a lot of, to do the half-an-hour episodes every single week. So, of course, awkward approaches. I remember the first girl I wouldn't say the first. As I said, I started out saying hi to girls. I remember the first girl I think I ever approached, I was on a bus. I was in high school, and she was really cute. And I didn't flirt with her. I just said hi to her. I started talking to her, and I was proud of myself. I talked to a girl because none of the guys I knew ever really talked to girls. They were all like pussies, Even the good-looking guy I talked about, he wasn't super good-looking, but he was good-looking enough to pull some. So I was talking to some girls at the mall. I told you about that before. And I remember the first time I got played and stuff, there was this big white girl. She had big titties, kind of a cute face, but she wasn't that attractive though. She was kind of a mess. And she kept looking at me, and I was waiting for my friend, the dude I told you about, the bad friend, the cock block. So I went over there and I said, "Hi, I actually think you're really beautiful." I was just way too direct. And she wasn't beautiful, by the way, but I was, And then she was like waiting for my friend. I started talking to her, and I got her phone number. I gave her, she didn't want to give me her phone number. So I gave her my number. But looking back at it now, it was actually her house phone. I actually gave her my house phone. I gave her my house phone. And I don't think she ever called, but she did. My mom probably picked up. She probably hung up like, wow. But I was only like 19 at the time. So that wasn't really an awkward approach. I want to talk about the blowout approaches. The approaches that I made where I really got blown out. And when I say blow, the girl, like I said before, I don't mind if a woman rejects me or says she's not interested or has a boyfriend. That's totally fine. But when they look at me with disgust, it fucking hurts, man. And I remember some of the first times that happened. One of the first girls I approached at a nightclub, she rolled her eyes at me, and I called her out. I was like, "Hey, you rolled your eyes at me." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." That was okay. But I remember one night, this girl had a green dress on, this white girl. And she was a little bit curvy, and I was attracted to it. She was on the phone. I was trying to make some warm-up approaches. Oh boy, this is why it's great to record these outside. These fucking douchebag guys on their motorcycles. I don't understand why they spend so much time making noise. Like, why don't you pull those things over and try to get laid? Why would you just run around in the street causing havoc? Why don't you park it outside of a nightclub and get some pussy, bro? Right? All right, this wasn't a good idea. It sounds like a baby getting murdered. Ugh. So pretty much. So anyway, back with the girl with the green dress. She had a green dress on. And I said, "I just want to say you look really nice tonight." And she said, "What? What did you say?" She said, I said, like an insult. I said, "Oh, I just let you know you look really nice tonight." She's like, "Just go away." Right? And I was so pissed. You saw a look at my face. It went from a smile to like anger. And I was like, "Fuck you!" And she got scared. I went out, by the way, I was like a few feet away from her. I wasn't like in her face. I was like a few feet away. And she got scared. She was on the phone. She's like, "Hurry, please." And I was so pissed. I remember I had to like sit down. I rarely drink even back then. And I was like so mad. I had to like fucking sit down and actually get myself a drink. I was so pissed. I was like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, that was so rude. I gave you a compliment. You could have just said, "Look, thanks, but I gotta go," or something. You don't say that. That was just so rude, So anyways, also I remember I was in Macy's and I was walking around, and there was this cute, I thought it was a black girl. She was cute, and At the time, I wasn't really approaching that many, but I was doing dating. I think she either worked there. Yeah, it's possible that she either worked there or maybe she was just a customer. Regardless, she like walked by, and I was like, hey, I just want to say you're really. I was doing a direct approach, and I was like, hey, I think you're really cute. And she made a face at me once again, like I was disgusted. I said, what? Like what? Ugh. She must have been a hardcore lesbian, or I turned a lesbian, and I was just like, I was so fucking hurt. I had to like go outside. I had to actually sit down, like outside, and cool off for 15 minutes, and then go back in and make some approaches. And oh yeah, here's another time. This happened a lot, by the way. I can only remember certain times. I was at this douchebag bar they had upstairs. I remember I saw this really cute Hispanic-looking girl, and she was in a big group. And I was so nervous approaching her, because I don't usually approach girls in big groups, but I said, fuck it, I gotta do this. I was by myself. And this is the amount of balls I had. This is why I'm so pissed off, because I really put my heart and soul in the PUA. And I got rejected. And I went up by myself, like I said, did this shit, which is why confidence is bullshit. And so I thought this girl was really attractive. And I said, I gotta do this approach. So I walked up to her. I put my hand down and said, hi, my name's Josh. And she looked at my hand, looked at me, and went, hi. Like, looked at me like, and I put my hand down and looked away. And I wanted to, like, I wanted to scream at her or anything. I just wanted to say, like, fuck you, you're rude, and walk away. But I just walked away. And I was so pissed. I actually sat down, and at the time, I got myself a drink. I never drink. I was like, I need a beer. Like, I never used to drink back then. I was like, I need a beer. I was like, I gotta fucking calm down. And then I ended up having a good night. I turned it around. What happened was I left the bar. There was these 3 white chicks walking down the street. There was like 2 old ones and 1 young one. The young one was good looking. The other 2 were pigs. The young one was a cunt, of course. These 3 white women. And I put my hand out as a goof because they were all holding hands in a chain. And I had them walking down the street with them. And I walked them to this bar. And she was like, can you leave us alone? And I was like, all right. And then 2 others was like, no, he's being nice and stuff. So I ended up walking them to a bar. And then I went back to this douchebag bar. And I'm dancing with some girls. I ended up turning it around. But I call it a singe. When that happens, when you get blown out that hard, your fucking heart just drops. I call it a singe, like when you burn yourself. You just burn your finger a little bit, like that. Like ooh, it doesn't like your heart's not broke, but it's just like oh, that shit fucking hurts, man. And I remember another awkward approach where I used to approach girls in Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse Square, you guys have probably heard of it before. It's actually it's like the most popular park in Philly. It's a really upscale area. It's not a good place to approach a woman. I actually thought it was. And there was this really cute Indian girl sitting down, and I just sat down pretty much like right next to her. I remember there was like this couple next to them, and like they were like actually like laughing at me for making the approach. Like, they were laughing at me and stuff, and she was totally uncomfortable. I was like, so what are you reading and stuff? I was just trying to have a conversation, ask for a number, and they were laughing at me, the black couple, and she was so uncomfortable, she looked scared. And actually, some of the girls I approached, I didn't realize this back then, the reason why that was a bad place to pick up girls was because there was a lot of homeless people in there, and homeless people would walk up to me. So even though I didn't look homeless, which I know you probably disagree, they thought I was probably like some homeless guy. Even though I was just, some, mid-20s looking kid. Let me take a sip of beer real quick. So, they actually thought I was like some, bum. So, that happened. And there was a couple girls. I remember I approached this one woman, and she was like a white chick. She was like it was probably a bad mistake approach. She was like in her 30s probably a bad mistake approaching her. She was kind of old. Not old, but, older. And I was like, she actually said, I actually introduced myself to me. She's like, you're not going to steal my purse, are you? I said, why would I steal your purse? She's like, I don't know. She's like, this Philly's crazy. And I said, I introduced yourself to me. I said, I introduced myself to you. Why would I tell you my name? She's like, I don't know. I said, oh. And I approached this girl once laying down. I laid down a couple feet away from her. She was scared. I scared women in that park just by talking to them. Once again, if I look like a Chad, then it would have been totally fine. It would have been totally okay. But I'm not a Chad, obviously. Even back then when I was a little bit chubby, but I was definitely, not as fat now. And I still creep girls out. And, the thing about night game is, like you could walk down the street with like 2 drunk girls at night. And you can even put your arm around them. You know what I mean? Because it's night game. They're out to meet people. They just want attention. You know, it's a whole sexual thing. But day game, when you do day game, girls are not used to be approached during the day. So I creeped out so many girls just talking to them during the day. And they lie to you, these PUAs. They're like, oh, it's all about game, bro. It's all about game, confidence. Confidence, bro. And it's like, yeah, if it's so confidence, why are these girls scared of me? Why aren't they impressed the fact that I'm fucking walking up to them and I'm actually talking to them, I'm actually approaching them? Why is that not the case? So it actually doesn't matter. It's actually bullshit. There's a bunch of other approaches I can't really think, 'cause I've made so many, but those are the ones that stick out of my head as of right now. I'm trying to think of some more. Sometimes they just come to me. Once in a blue moon, I will think about it. Oh yeah, I just randomly thought of another one. I was coming back from college, going home, and I don't even know why I approached this woman. She wasn't even that attractive. Once again, I approached a lot of girls. I was just obsessed with approaching women. And most of the girls I approached, I probably wasn't even attracted to. But I approached this like older black chick. She wasn't even that attractive. I moved my seat and I said hi to her. And she literally looked at me like, and rightfully so, like, what the hell? And she saw me move my seat too. So that was not a good move. But I was trying to show, once again, confidence. I think I'm going to talk like Dan Sealy the rest of this episode. You guys know Dan Sealy? The creepy guy. The guy goes, hi, I like you. Do you like me? I need to talk like Dan Sealy. I see, that's the thing, man. I wish that I wouldn't say I wish I still approached, but I'm saying I wish I knew Dan Sealy, his videos back then. If that was the case, I would have made some videos of me doing that shit. Like, hi, I like you. Do you like me? Wait, you don't find me attractive? If you guys don't know Dan Sealy is Cilley. Watch his accosted videos. They are so fucking cringe, bro. Oh my god. And he's got a camera on his face. Like, like, when I say a camera, not a phone, a fucking handy cam recorder, like, on his face, bro. Oh shit. Hi. You don't like me? I should have did that. So yeah, so many approaches. I've also said weird things to girls to try to make them laugh. I remember when I was a kid, there was this Puerto Rican lady. She had huge titties. She had them out. And I said something. She said something about my mom. And I said, I wish my mom had titties like that. My friend was laughing. She wasn't that attractive, but she had giant titties. She had them out. She obviously wanted guys to look. And I said something to her. That wasn't really awkward. That was just more funny, I guess. Yeah, man. I'm kind of... Listen, I'm going to make this a part 1 right now. I'm probably not going to put this up until I get part 2. I'm going to try to record some more later and just add it in. So I'm going to finish this drink. I'm just going to enjoy the environment right now. And hopefully I can finish the rest tonight. If not, maybe the week after. But I'm going to add something else to this episode. I don't want to just put it up just like this. But if I can think of some more awkward approaches or some other segment I want to put it here, I'll put it in, all right? All right, cool. I'll be back. Okay, I just thought of 2 more things to add. 2 more approaches I just thought of randomly. One was, I was hanging out with this guy. It sounds gay. I met him on Craigslist because I was looking for a camera guy for my vlogs. This is back years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago maybe. And I was in a bar, and I walked up to this black girl and white girl. I was trying to show confidence. I put my arm around both of them. And the white girl was kind of okay with it, and the black girl was like, don't touch me. Why are you touching me? So I made like a really like upset face, and I walked away. And then she ended up apologizing to me. She said, oh, I'm sorry. I saw a look on your face. I said, look, I didn't mean to make you upset. I was just trying to show confidence. She said, I know. I just don't like being touched. And I said, all right, we cool? She said, yeah, we cool. So she ended up apologizing to me. But, like, I wasn't groping her. I just put my arm around her. Like, hey, I mean, imagine if she did that to me. You think, if a girl walks up to a guy and puts her arm around him, no guy's going to do that, But once again. And then the other one was, I walked out. It was like 2 a.m. getting ready to leave. And I saw these 3 black girls walking down the street. And they were both really drunk. There was like 2 of them, actually, or 2 or 3. And they were, like, really drunk. So I said something like, hey, I hope you girls could walk a straight line. I was just, it was like a bad joke, And And I put my, once again, I gave him a light touch. And one of the black girls, she must have been on her period. She must have had PMS. Plus, she was drunk. She got real fucking mad. She started cursing at me. She's like, motherfucker, don't touch me. Don't you touch me, motherfucker. I'll whip your ass. And I just walked away. There was nothing to do. I just walked away. And I remember, as I walked away, these two black guys were sitting down. One of them was like, damn, man, black girls are mean. And I just walked away. And I walked down the block. I had to walk down this alley I never walked down before. And I just got away from them. And she was still going off like, don't you fucking touch me, motherfucker. She must have been a dyke or some shit, and I didn't know. So there's two more approaches. And I was going to keep adding bits and pieces as we go along. That's all I can think of right now. I just finished my beer. And I'm fucking hanging out right now. I'm outside. I'm drunk. I'm going to hit up a few spots probably. I'm thinking about getting another beer, but I'm already drunk enough. So I think that's enough drinking for tonight. So we're gonna keep adding more and more. We're gonna do a medley here. For you guys like medleys, we're gonna do a medley here. More to come. All right. So part 2 of this, the second topic is going to be bitterness. I want to talk about how it first started. The bitterness, I would say, after the chat room girls used me when I remember I was 22 years old. I just deleted all the hoes off my MySpace. I kept one, like I said. And I started thinking really fucked up things. Like, I feel like I really started. I was so angry. And as I said before, that's when I kind of told myself, hey, look, later on, about a year later, I told myself, hey, look, give it a second go around. You don't want to be this way. Don't be this way. But I was, of course, right all along. And I remember talking to some guy about it. He was kind of going through the same thing as me. And he was like, yeah, girls are like that. But we just realized that that's just how they are. And we have no choice that if we want to get laid, we have no choice. We have to deal with them. So I started thinking really fucked up thoughts. Like, I remember this one chick at work I didn't like when I was like 21. I said to myself, I hope she gets raped. And that's fucked up. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's like, let's say that's a joke was one thing, like a dark joke, like haha. But I really meant it. I was like, I hope she gets raped. I knew that was like a fucked up thing to say. I just felt that way. I was angry. And I started just thinking all girls are bitches. And then if a girl did say hi to me, usually a girl would just say hi to me just to be nice. They didn't say hi to me because they liked me. If I was like walking in the park or something, or I was walking to the basketball court, I remember one time, and a girl said something like a joke. She was just messing around. She's like, hey, can I play with your basketball or something? I just ignored her. I just wanted to ignore her. It made me feel good. So I was MGTOW, I guess you could say at 22, but at 22, I had no money, I wasn't in college yet, and I had no car, I was living at home, no friends, nothing. And then I think, how old was I? Yeah, I think around that time, that's when I kicked that asshole to the curb too, the dude that, as I said before, that got it. I might have been still talking to him, I don't know. But that's when it kind of started, the bitterness. The bitterness started like at 22. And I was just like, my life is over. This is before I went to college, of course. And then I didn't go out at all. I had no money to go out. I was going to some neighborhood bar near my house. But I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would just sit there and some random guy would come over and be like, hey man, talk to some girls. Come on, you're young. Do it while you're young. And I'm like, they don't, I'm by myself and I'm in some neighborhood bar and I'm not just going to go on a dance floor and just start dancing with, like they're with guys and stuff. It's just, so that's how the bitterness, I would say, started. And then I would say from like 23 to 28, for 5 years, I went hard. That's when I got back into it. I wanted to give up every year. I was doing PUA. I kept telling myself, don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep going. And I just kept going. I kept going. And there was some nights when I was having bad nights. I was able to get like a makeout or something. I really just got into it and I was able to get like a makeout or something. But, I never got laid. And the bitterness started when I moved back in my parents' basement. As I said before, I told this story. At first, it wasn't bad for like the first month maybe. And then I just started being miserable again. I realized that my life is over. I kind of had a life. I lost my government job. I kicked that stupid girl I was friends with to the curb. And I really didn't, I started drinking. I was always drinking here and there, like I would drink at the comedy club or something, but I started like mixing concoctions of drinks, making my own drinks pretty much. I would not measure it. And I would, there's some people across the street that like the podcast. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. Yep. It's called Jak'd. You guys are fans. All right. So we got some fans out here of the Jak'd. That's pretty cool. All right. So, but as I said, I used to not measure the bottles, and I used to get really fucking drunk. Like not hammered. I still never been hammered. I never blacked out anything. But I used to get really fucking. I used to take a quart of like one of those 1 liter bottles of water. I would put 24 ounces of Red Bull in there. I would put like, I don't know, 8 or 12 ounces of vodka or something. And then I would put some water in there and just to even it out. And man. And I would get really drunk and I was just miserable. I had nothing to do with girls. I was just like, fuck, man. My life, so I kind of had a chance at life. I was out of my parents' house. Then I had my car still. I was like, well, I have a car at least. But then I crashed that a year later. I totaled it. I was driving in the rain really fast. Too fast. I was trying to get away from this car that was driving too slow. And I'm lucky I didn't die. I saw my light flash in front of my eyes. I hit this short. I needed to get my brakes and my tires fixed. I didn't have the money. I was driving for Uber. I was losing money. So I think my tires were kind of not that good. And also my brakes weren't that good. And it was like wet all night. It was raining all night. And it was like this sharp curve where I didn't touch my brakes. And my car swerved and it went out of control. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to die. I closed my eyes and I got lucky. I had no damage. Like I just hit I just hit the side. It was just the side. My side hit this dirt thing. I lost my car at 29. And I was like, this is great. Like it's bad enough living at home. At least you have a car. I was like, I got no car now. So everything went back to full circle again. But as far as the bitterness towards women, when that came back, it came back really quick. Like I said, I was still kind of making approaches. I was still, trying. I would make approaches here and there. But I think, like I said, I had this moment. I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm forcing myself like I owe women something. We have this thing inside of us, this biology, that, like, we owe women something. Like, they don't have it for us, but we have it for them. We have this biology in us, like, we have to do things for women. We have to approach them. We have to make them laugh. We have to make them feel safe. We have to make them feel nice. And it's like, why? Do they think that about us? I highly doubt it. I don't think any woman goes out and goes, I hope these men feel good around me. I hope they feel strong. I hope they feel, I hope they feel masculine. I hope they feel just confident. I hope they feel, they don't care at all what we go through. But we're supposed to fucking care what they're going through. You understand what I'm saying? So I just started having these thoughts in my head, and then, as I said, I didn't find MGTOW until maybe like a year or two later. But I was just like, why am I doing this? Why am I talking to these girls? I've done this for so long. I was like, I don't want to. It's not fun for me anymore. I'm still gonna go out, as I said. I like going out. I don't need to approach. I like the nightlife. I like to see what drunk people are doing. I like to have some drinks here and there. Dancing, I don't dance as much, but I was like, I still like going out. I'm not going to give it up just because of them. And I started just becoming really bitter. I was like, I always knew women in my head were cunts, but then it was like official. I was like, it's official. They're fucking cunts. I used to have some hope. You have hope like, okay, it's not all women that are cunts, but a good amount of cunts. And I feel like most guys think that way, but you try to act like, no, there's some good girls out there. But then you just realize, no, there may be a few that are less of cunts, but no, they're all cunts. And it just takes you a while to realize, like, wow, they never liked me. Even if a girl made out with me, even if they went on a date with me, even if they whatever, they didn't like me. And you start getting really fucking bitter to the point you're like, man, I just fucking hate them. And then, you got to work with them at work and stuff, and they don't do any work. And they fucking sit around all day, and they fucking just gossip. And like I said, they do nothing. And you're just like, oh, I fucking hate you. Like, you realize how useless they are. They're useless. They don't do anything. They're not going to fuck you. They're not going to fuck me. Get the fuck out of my face. That's all you're good for. You're not good for anything else. You realize that? And then on top of that, they're annoying. They're not funny. They're not interesting. All they do is ruin things. They talk too much. And next thing you know, it just comes out. That bitterness. I feel like every guy, most guys, if you're going to do PUA, like I said, it's unhealthy to approach that many women. Because once you approach that many women, you realize that the bitterness starts to build up. It just starts to build up slowly. And then eventually, subconsciously, it just comes out and you're like, I fucking hate women. I fucking hate them. I hate the fact they're making me go through this. I hate the fact that it's this hard to get a date, or forget a date, or get laid, get a kiss, anything. I hate the fact that they lie and they're just manipulative and they trick you and they laugh at you and you realize they're not nice. They're just not fucking nice. And even if a guy who's a murderer is probably nicer than them, like, they're just not fucking nice. And even if you use that cute excuse and say, oh yeah, man, girls are just, they're just trying to protect themselves. Okay, yeah, there's some guys out there who are fucking idiots and they can't take no for an answer. And there's some guys out there who fucking, they can be piggish and stuff, and I've seen it before. And it's like, okay, yeah. But that doesn't mean that gives you the excuse just to humiliate people and, just manipulate people, just use people for things and lie, and it just comes out. And I feel like it's just gonna happen to you. It's gonna happen to you. But if you're getting laid by girls, you're actually getting what you want, you're not gonna feel that way. You're not gonna fucking feel that way, obviously. But if you're not getting laid, you're actually doing work. That'll be the equivalent of you're going to your job and you work your 40 hours and they decide they're not going to pay you. They're like, I'm not going to pay you. You're like, what? Even though that's against the law, you can't do that. That'll be the equivalent of you working and not getting paid. It's like, what? I'm working for nothing. And it's work. It's work, even like I said, even to go over and say hi to them. Just like I saw about the He Does Succeed interview. Well, that dating coach was giving him shit. He was like, it's not work. It's like, yes, it is. It's work because you mentally have to pump yourself up to do it. And that's mental work. And mental work can put a stress on your body as well. On your mind, your body, everything. So it just comes out, and next thing you know, you realize, you get to the point where you're like, wow, I was a guy who, I was approaching so many women. And now I stay away from women. I go out. Like tonight I went inside some bars just to, get out of the cold and just to, warm up. Like actually warm up, not approaching warm up. And yeah, man, but I stay away from them. I don't want to sit next to them. I don't want to stand next to them. And if I do, I try to just face away from them. I don't even look at them. And there's some attractive girls in there, but I don't care. I can resist them because I know they're not going to give me what I want anyways. And the bouncer's like, tonight, like, the bouncer's like, oh, there's a lot of bitches. He always says, there's a lot of bitches in there. It's like, they don't want me, though. I can go to, if I was the only guy in that bar, I'll be lucky if one, even ugly fat girl would look at me and go, okay, I'm going to fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Just because they are out doesn't mean, once again, they know they can get sex anytime they want. That's why they're out. It's like to prove themselves. They know they can get laid anytime they want. So there's no point approaching them. And that's something you don't realize till later, too. Like I said, you realize as a young man, you think it's going to be easy, and then you realize, wow, bars are the worst place to go. Even though it's packed with girls, it's the worst place to go. It's easy, if you want to meet them, you want to practice talking to them and stuff, okay, fine, or dancing with them or something, yeah, great. But as far as getting laid goes or stuff and actually trying to get something, it's the worst. Because women have a terrible personality in general. Then when you mix alcohol into it, fucking forget about it. They're terrible. So I'm going to wrap it right here. I know this podcast is going to be all over the place. It's got a lot of background noise, background music and shit. I'm working full time right now. And then I don't have, as I said before, I'm a man child. I live at home. I don't have much quiet time to record. I just don't. So I'm going to wrap it here. Thanks for listening. And hopefully another new episode next week. Give it a like, all right? All right? All right?